Well. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Oh, gosh.
Happy Wednesday. Okay, I'll stop. I'll never do it again.
No.
That would be the last time you hear the Happy Wednesday song.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Want me to pull it in from another episode?
No.
I'm sorry, Tina.
We're done.
Go ahead.
We're done, Marie. You will never hear these vocals again. No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Because I'm hearing vocals right now. Happy Wednesday, all.
Happy Wednesday.
Hope you've been enjoying your week thus far.
Mm-hmm.
How's your week been?
Lord.
Mm-hmm.
How has it been?
I'll finish off your sentence with Jesus.
Jesus.
It's
a little more African in it. Jesus.
Going to the Jay-Z.
I hope everybody's been staying safe and corona free. And if not, I just hope you're safe
and free. You gotta add that in these days.
We can only hope that
hope that you're safe and you're free.
Lord,
the fight continues.
As it should. This fight should never
have ended.
Exactly.
Or slumbered.
Okay. All those words.
I apologize in advance. It has been quite a week for myself, which I think leads in to the topic.
That is true. Yes, it does. But before we start our topic, we'd like to bow our heads in our weekly prayer. Take it away, Marie.
Let us remind you that the opinions expressed in this podcast are our personal opinions and must not be construed as representing the opinion of any institution with which we are or have been affiliated with in our professional lives. AKA, do not come for us.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Now.
So, yes, please pass the glass this way.
Please drink responsibly.
Go ahead, take a sip.
I'm a sip regardless. Tina, take it away.
Okay. Let me take it away. Yes, speaking of taking it away, let's talk about multitasking. Okay?
Managing life.
Life management. And how well or how not well or unwell some people are handling it. When is it too much? Huh?
You want my simplified answer?
Well, if you gave me the simplified version, the show would be over a lot sooner. Because then, I'm just going to co-sign it with a yeah.
My opinion, when is it too much? When you have to plan a break. I literally had to schedule in a day to do nothing. Was I 100% successful? No, absolutely not. It's just like it never ends. Life never ends. Whether it's the home calling, the phone calling, the job calling, the dog calling, the bird calling, everything is calling, and then you're high, strung, and stressed. Hence, my glass in hand now. It's rough.
On a Wednesday.
It is hard in these streets, Tina.
It definitely looks it for me.
I am holding on by a thread. But yes, that's my simplified answer. When you have to plan a break. I literally went to my calendar and said, Saturday is my day of rest I will do nothing. I will not plan anything. I am just going to attempt to sleep in, lay down.
Yeah, that's not something I've ever had to plan.
Usually I didn't have to. I find myself doing that more often. I've gotten to that point. I have to plan life anyway. Like, I need advance notice to do something. Spontaneity is a little rough these days.
It's unheard of in your life.
It's not unheard of.
Because you asked a spontaneous meeting for you, Marie, and it's like, yeah, no, I have something planned. I'll have something planned, but I'll let you know if something frees up. I'll schedule you in if there's a free moment.
I feel like that can be misconstrued because spontaneity is something I feel is very important in life, especially within a form of courtship. You can't rule out all spontaneity because then it's just dead. However, I feel there is still spontaneity available. However, I feel as if
forgive us.
I feel
it's been a rough week and it's only Wednesday.
I feel the older I have gotten, the more I've had to plan just to stay sane. It helps with everything.
See, we're an example of a person that is always planning, which would be Marie. And
go ahead. Maybe. Okay.
Name one time you haven't planned since becoming a mature adult. It's just,
I won't even say that. I think having a child has completely turned my life all the way around.
No, we had to schedule you in for outings before you had the child. So,
well, how much before was this?
I mean, before you got married, after yeah. You've been scheduling ever since. You have always had so many things going on.
We all had stuff going on.
We did.
We always had to schedule something.
I never had to schedule. All you had to do was call.
And that was a task in itself because you might not answer the phone.
Look, that's different. That is different because I always say I might not answer the phone, but you know where I'm at. I'm home. All you have to do is knock on the door. If I don't answer the phone, just hello. Well, look at that. I am home.
Maybe it could be right. I mean, we have all.
Except for that brief time I didn't really have a home, but yeah.
I feel like that's like a level in life that a lot of people I know have had to accomplish.
Endure, level up.
I'm trying not to say homelessness, but
we're not going to say
we're not.
Because it's not necessarily homelessness. It's just, I wouldn't say there's like homelessness. It's just there's no place to call home. Like you have shelter. You may or may not have shelter, but it's not necessarily a home for you.
I got you.
See what I'm saying? You don't have that home base, that home. But that's besides the point as far as multitasking, as I was trying to say.
Before we get back on topic.
Well, here we go.
I have always pictured life as a video game and going through levels. I don't know if that makes me weird.
I don't know, but the first video game that pops in my head is a Ninja Turtle one. And it's for y'all that's going around on the street, going up and down the street.
That's an old Nintendo game.
I'm talking about the arcade version.
I feel like if I had that and some weapons to get through life, it'd be a little bit easier. I don't even have that.
No weapons.
Well, technically, yes. Yes, I do. I have the whole armor as a weapon.
Right, back onto the video games of levels, life of levels. It is a game. It's called the game of life. You spin stuff. It's like chutes and ladders. I've never played it.
You haven't? You
No.
never played the game of life?
No, we lost all the pieces by the time I was old enough to play it. And we had like the OG version.
Oh, yeah. I was playing the OG version probably before I realized half of the stuff I was getting into.
I had the OG Chutes and Ladders. I was like, yeah, we got the pieces to that. It's good enough for me. Chutes
Okay.
and Ladders and Candyland. That's
I never played Chutes and Ladders.
really,
Maybe Candyland once.
it's not that big of a deal. You go up, you go down, you
I
go
was
up
a
again.
hungry hippos type of gal.
Nope.
What?
I don't know. I feel
And
like
Guess Who? I like me some Guess Who.
I only got to play that at other people's houses. Anything with multiple parts, my mom really wasn't with. I feel like
You need one solid piece.
I feel like I was treated like a special child, like no marbles. Like nothing that says swallowing hazard, like like I was the type of person.
Put the small pieces away.
Like I was the type of person that would put things in my mouth, which I was not. That was not my thing. Pause.
Oh,
Breathe.
it was coming.
Breathe. But
Pause again.
we are never gonna get to the topic.
I'm sorry. Let's get back on topic now.
Back to
Multitasking and when it is too much.
okay. So my point that I was trying to make, that you took me way onto
I
this,
apologize.
took way into this whole other life of video games and games in general. Speaking of games, there's a good one that actually does have to do with life. I'll when I remember the name of it, I'll let you know.
All right.
But I was saying that to me, you've always been a planner. Not necessarily to the minute, to the hour, to the day, but
I might like to have an idea.
you always
of
used to have an idea of what you might accomplish for that day. And then there's me. My general plan is sleep.
Wake up at some point. Eat at some point.
and
Sleep at some point.
At some point, time, sleep.
As long as you hit all three.
Well,
not
you know,
necessarily in that order.
right? Because then there's those ones where basic hygiene has to fall in there every day because that's necessary. But you know, that's my plan. You know,
You have an outline.
very
You
broad.
as long as you can touch the
I
outline.
have missed days somewhere in like where I've slept past a day and be into another day. Oh, that was
I
before.
haven't done that since.
That was before jobs were like consistent, like Monday through Friday. Like, you know, when you get those 3 days in the week, or you only work part-time or something like that. So you get those days where you could sleep somewhere in the middle of the week from Monday to Wednesday and be like, oh, look at that.
I think I only might have did that once.
Yeah. No, you've done it before. It's just
Not sleep.
We were
through,
in high
like,
school.
Complete days. I used to sleep. Yes, I see the look. I know. I am a rock, or I was.
you used to be.
Used
You went
to
and
be.
had a kid and
I've
that just.
gotten so much better. I am so proud
Who
of
says
myself.
that's better?
I do, because that used to be my main concern. If I ever had a child, how will I ever take care of this child? Because if I fall asleep, it's it. Game over.
I think you thought about it so much that you thought yourself out of the hard
I
sleep.
think so. I
All
think
of a
so.
sudden you sleeping light and
Or I might not necessarily sleep light. I take breaks. So, I'm on a
you take
continuous
naps.
I'm on a continuous cycle of napping now. I'm unable to sleep or get rest, but I continuously nap. And I wake up every so often, make sure the home is good, and I go back for a nap.
Now that we've determined where on the spectrum of multitasking we both are on, at what point you've mentioned that when you get to the point where you have to schedule in these breaks of doing nothing or these breaks of nothingness, that's when you feel like you're doing too much.
For me, I realize, well, I feel like I have always been that, or I'll tell you what, I have a tendency to just keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I can be tired. I know I might need a break.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll be like, okay, 5 more minutes. Let me just wrap this up. And then I'll do this. Or let me do this. And then I can do that. And it winds up going for like another hour, another 2 hours. Especially for something I enjoy doing or I have a passion for. That's why I think it started because I forced myself to attempt to manage time. And it started with music. My history of making music in the recording studio and all that kind of stuff. I would be in there for hours, sometimes days, until I'd have to go to work. And then I go to work and I come back and I'm right back in there. And it's just like, okay, but there's other things you need to do. You have to manage a home. You have to do this. You have to do that. So I started maybe from that time to really learn how to manage my time so that I can manage other aspects of my life and not just ignore the 75% or 50% and paying attention to just this 50%, because then nothing builds, nothing grows that way. Everything needs their allotment of time. So, yes, I can feel when I'm hitting my breaking point. I these days, as I am going through new transitions in life, I'm giving myself that time to breathe and that time to feel. And I can feel when I am getting stressed or overwhelmed, irritated, agitated. I know a break is needed.
A bunch of taters.
A bunch of taters. Tates and tateds. It's time for a break.
But I must say, you're one productive person.
You think so?
You do a lot. You do a lot. Something is usually always accomplished on that day.
I don't feel like that.
Compared to me, you are a superhero, okay? Because just the thoughts alone.
You do a lot too now.
In my mind.
Well, I do the same thing too.
Yeah, but like I said, you think about things. But that's why you plan things. You think about it and you're like, all right, so this is what this day is going to be. It's going to be boom, boom, boom. I'm going to try to fit this in here. If this works this way, then I'm going to shuffle it that. That's you.
Well, certain things. I think, again, in this new evolvement of who I'm becoming, because I don't know, I think I'm going through a change. Not that change, but I'm going through some kind of change. And with that, I realized...
Metamorphosis.
Correct.
Emerge as the butterfly you supposed to be, boo-boo.
Butterfly already. I think I'm just blooming a little differently. Maybe I'm sprouting more colors. I don't know. Anywho.
Call me a big fat caterpillar. I don't care. Go ahead.
You are blooming as well, Tina.
Finish what you were saying.
I want you to know that you too are a butterfly.
I don't want to claim this right now as a butterfly stage for me. No.
Why not?
This too much.
Still in the you might still be in the cocoon. Yeah.
I'm about to get back in one.
Did you get out?
I don't think so.
But you're gonna have to get out at some point in time. You know that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right now we all in a cocoon stage. It's called quarantine. But you know. Can't wait for this thing to be over so you can come out and be the butterfly you are. Continue.
What I was trying to say was, as I get older, I've become that person that cannot function in clutter.
I'm waiting to be that person.
I don't even know how I became this person, because I remember what my room used to look like.
I know how you became this person.
Which
I'm starting to realize it's different when it's your clutter as opposed to other people's.
Because it never used to be like that until last year. Or, you know what else it could have been? Look here, you learn a lot when you don't got a place to call your own. When you finally get a place to call your own and it's functional, because you can have a roof and it still not be functional.
And don't I know it?
When you have a whole place, it's yours and it's functional. Let me tell you, man, my level of gratitude, I think that's what it is. That really streamlined it for me. Because years prior, it wasn't really like that. I could pinpoint where I started this.
Respect.
I don't know if that answers the question.
I don't know, because I didn't ask a question. You just volunteered the information. I didn't ask a question, but I did ask you to elaborate on what you mean by when you have to schedule yourself some time for yourself, some time of nothingness.
And it's important to do so because you need that time for yourself.
I'm sure there are people who can relate to that.
Those mental breaks before you mentally break.
I mean, everybody can relate to that, but I'm saying from your perspective of when, you know, you have all these things that you're putting. I don't think that's controlling. I just think that is becoming a master of your
The part
space.
that I mean controlling is like, all right, I put the cups here. This is where the cups live. And then I can walk out and come back and it can just be one cup that's like on the other side of the room. That's not where I put them. They go here. That's what I mean. I become that person.
Again, it's not.
I feel like it's controlling because it's something that I've never.
Maybe I'm just grew up with people that were like that, so it makes no difference to me.
I don't think I have. Like, I can't pinpoint.
I can't even get
an
mad at you
example
when
of
you be
that.
like, coaster, and I'd be like, it's not even wet. Coaster.
Multitasking is a great characteristic that a lot of people don't actually
I
have.
don't have it.
You
I
can
mean-
multitask. So I think multitasking comes in levels. Some people are at level 2, some people are at level 8.
I am in the beginning level of multitasking, if that's the case.
It depends on what it is that you're doing.
That's true.
And I think that's for everybody.
I mean, it all depends. It depends on the environment. Because if it's at my job,
That's
I'm on it.
especially what I'm referring to.
Okay.
You can multitask.
Yeah, I'm on it. I gotta be on it. But if it's like personal life, point me to my bed. Sometimes I feel like when so many things, like how you seem to handle certain situations, right? Like you brought up I can't even say the word.
Spontaneity.
Right. You brought that
I
up.
can actually say a word that you struggle with.
It's those S's.
Look at the first. Spontaneity. I'm going to use it just I'll find ways to use that word now. When you are in need of being spontaneous.
The way you handle those situations.
The spontaneous kinds.
Oh, you really rubbing this in. When I find a word that you struggle with, remember.
That's not fair because there's a lot.
I know. I just need to pick one. All right. So when those times come, you seem to handle them very well. Like you're able to fit them in or move it around or change your schedule.
What times?
Your favorite word for the day when those moments catch on.
Okay, my bad. When something spontaneous interrupts my plan.
Right.
Okay.
For me though, my whole mind just shuts down. It's like, wait, what? We go on break. Like, we are paused. I am the type of person that I don't like to move unnecessarily. So that's just, again, like I said, personal. Work wise, look, I roll with it and we move. But if it's just like, I'm not about to be paid for this is just for me, everything goes on pause. Like, wait, we got to recalculate this entire day. Because at some point,
Well, I got two things to say. Well, one, towards you, why would things go on pause when it's towards you? You should be getting the biggest effort.
Again, it depends. It's how your mindset is. What is your mindset? Is your mindset for these things that you need to accomplish, or is your mind like what's your goal for the day? You know what I'm saying? If your goal is to accomplish these things, my goal is I got stuff to do, but I'm trying to get back to my bed. It's different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It comes in as an interruption,
right? It's like, but wait a minute, you know. I put that off for another hour, maybe 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do I have to let something go? You know, that's what happens in my head. Like, is that gonna fit in here? Maybe I should, maybe I need to switch things around, or maybe something ain't about to be done today. Cause
I think part of it for me, anytime something spontaneous interrupts my plan, I'm a person naturally that might find it difficult to panic. So anytime something comes in to stir my pot, wait a minute. Anytime something comes in to interrupt my plan,
ruffle the feathers, stir the pot.
Anytime something comes in to interrupt my plan, I think that's when I push harder to be like, okay, time to rearrange, time to plan, time to go, time to work, time to this. Because
you sound like such a mom.
That's just how I've always been, though. But see, the thing about it though is I'll handle everything then calmly, and then I panic after, or I stress after. So it catches me later. I'm not too sure how to alter that. I've always been, I really noticed that in like emergency situations where there were life-threatening emergencies that would happen and I'm nearby, and I might swing into safety mode and get XYZ done, but then after everything is done and I sit there and I go over everything, I'm probably the one that needs saving at that time, because then my mind starts running, anxiety kicks in, this happens.
I mean, I would hope that's most people's reaction, because no, some people panic.
No, yeah. It's like,
I'm not that type of person either, but I am the type of, I'm just saying, you have the motivation to still accomplish your goals even when something goes wrong.
You know what? I am proud that it looks like that on the outside.
You're welcome.
Because it absolutely does not pan out like that on the inside.
I'm sure it doesn't. Because the response that I get when I'm in the middle of my Windows restart is, why are you so calm? You're not doing anything. You don't care. And I'll be like, no, I'm just restarting my whole life right now. Wait, give me a second.
Let me reboot.
Like, I feel like sometimes when I get those type of situations, because people expect you, some people have an expectation of how you should be reacting to certain things, right? And because you don't react that way,
something's wrong.
Right. Either they equate that to you not caring, or you're not doing anything, or you're not moving, you're not making a plan, you're just listless or whatever. That's not necessarily the case. Some people like to see a movement, and to be honest, you're the type of person that when something comes up, you move, and then you worry about whatever happens later. I, on the other hand, I don't move. I'm like that peace be still type of person. Like, hold on, before we wait.
Yeah, sometimes like I literally have to talk to myself to stand still sometimes.
You ain't got to talk to me. Something happened, because I know sometimes I feel like even when we're both together and we're both in a situation, you will be ready to act, and I've stopped, because I'm thinking, okay, now we're like, okay, what would be the best way to handle this? But you already started. Like, I know there's been times where you started to move and you come back and you like, what are you doing? You be like, you coming? And I'd be yes. But first, this is how I plan on acting. And then you're like, oh, well, that makes sense.
I have a tendency to go through all pros and cons immediately. Like, I have to evaluate, or I try to evaluate an entire picture. I can't just focus on one half or the other half. I have to see, okay, well, if this happens and I do it this way, then this can be the result. But then if I do it that way and they do it this way, then that can be the result. But if I choose to do it this way and then later on they change up and do it that way, then it becomes this way, then maybe I should have done it that way before instead of doing it this way now. I have to go through...
I do the same thing, but I don't handle anxiety well. I do not handle anxiety well. I've had a panic attack before over the dumbest of things, and I do not ever want to experience that again.
Because you have identified, or maybe some of them, I don't know if you have all of them, but your triggers. Believe it or not, me opening that scope of pros and cons and how y'all joke with me about always having a silver lining helps my anxiety, because without a silver lining I am a mess. I guess so. I need that sometimes to balance me. Mm-hmm. Otherwise it's like I'm just an Energizer bunny going with no place to go. I have to find out, okay, I know I'm going, but where am I going? I need a destination. So I know I'm just not moving just to move. I need something that I know is coming up next, or this or that, or else it's going to heighten my anxiety even the more so. That's just for me. Right.
When I do the whole pros and cons thing, because I think we're doing it the same thing, but you just I feel like we process it at the same time, but you are just processing while moving.
Sometimes.
I know sometimes, because
that's where my planning comes from.
Right, because then sometimes we're both sitting here just thinking. And then we link up like, hey, I was thinking this, and I'd be like, yep, I thought the same thing, or oh, okay, I thought this way, and then we figure that out, and then we move. That's how we play off of each other.
Dynamics. Referencing episode number 8, friends and the dynamics of them.
How many of us? Okay, sorry about that. But I can't handle the anxiety afterwards. Like, you know how you say you move and then you deal with whatever because you think of the silver lining. I can't, like, I need to deal with as we're doing. I deal with the anxiety as we accomplish each task. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to bed. Ain't nothing keeping me up. Ain't no panic attack about to keep me awake. I'm going to sleep. That's how I process my things, which is why I think about every little thing. And it bothers me then if I don't think about it. If I feel like I'm moving before I thought, that's a wrap. Because everything's finna shut down.
Well, that's partially why I plan so much too. Because if I wind up... Here it goes again. I enjoy spontaneous things. But, however, if I wind up doing something as simple as this is, prime example, if I go grocery shopping and I left my list at home, that is a prime trigger of anxiety. Because now I feel as if I'm just...
And then for me...
It could be this wine, but everything is screwing me up right now because I'm just like, I can't say that word. I can't say that. But everything I'm about to say is a pause. And I'm trying to edit before it hits my mouth.
Pause.
I'm at the store just... I can't think of no other word to replace it. I'm at the store just free balling and I can't... and I can't.
All of this.
And I can't
winging it.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm struggling, and I'm just like, well, I can't say that. But how do I express what I feel? I'm winging it, and I feel as if I do that, I'm spending more money than I need to. That then throws off my budget. That then throws off other expenses and income for maybe like another month. And it's that's the thing that starts to poke at my anxiety. So even though I might have gotten a lot of things that I might have needed or even wanted, I will still come home dealing with anxiety tapping on my shoulder, just ready to jump.
And that's probably the main reason why people don't like going shopping with me, because because of that, I don't handle lists well. Like if I left a list and be like, all right, whatever I feel like eating today, that's what we get. That's what we go shopping for. And you can't stand it. You be like, stay on task all the time. You're always yelling at me about that, and I just be like, it's not that big of a deal. If I remember, I remember. If I don't remember, I'll go back later.
It's the same thing as in maybe just driving from work to another place, and you would take some of the weirdest back roads where it's like, in my head, I'm just like, why didn't you just take the straight route to the house? Why are we we're going further away to go further north, only to make a U-turn to come further south.
Okay.
And I'm just like, is this a scenic route you feel like taking today? Because in my mind, I'm just like, oh, the gas that is going just to make these circles. We could have just headed straight there, could have saved some time. And what could we have done with that time? We could have done this. We could have done that.
Hold on.
Which is why
I feel some type of way about the driving, because I don't drive to just be just the hell of driving. I hate traffic, and if I know I'm about to hit traffic, I feel like you don't pay attention to that. You're okay with, oh, okay, it's rush hour. We're going to sit here.
I'm agreeing with you. You know, you're right. You know why? Because that is partially my only time of peace. So if it takes me an hour to get home from work, just because I'm sitting behind a car for 20 minutes at a light for another 45, I'm me by myself. And whatever music I want to play, I don't got to listen to Disney. I don't got to listen to this. I can listen to what I want to listen to, and I'm by myself, because I know once I get home, work starts all over again. That's probably why I don't mind the traffic. I will deal with the traffic and just head straight home, that one short route that is jammed up at cars, because it is my only free time. I don't even have the bathroom to myself no more. That has become an ultimate, and I don't get it. It's like the older she got, the worse it got. As a child, I get it. She had nowhere to go. I still had to look after her. Come on, crawl in the bathroom, crawl on out. You know what I'm doing in the bathroom. You do the same thing. Let me be. But I can't seem to have that time to myself, so I take the car and the traffic.
I don't do traffic.
Yeah. You will go way around the traffic
and still get there quicker than had we sat in the short line
and risk everybody's life.
I cannot with the traffic. I don't know. I can't. I gotta be moving. Plus, I have this thing about being stuck in traffic. Every time I'm stopped and there's traffic, I get hit. And I'm not trying to... Every accident I've been in, it's traffic. I'm stopped at a red light, surrounded by people, and I get hit. No. As long as we're moving, we are free.
As free as we can be.
Very true. So, That's my thing about don't be talking about, oh yeah, you always go scenic routes. I'm not looking at anything. I'm looking at how fast I can make it from here to there, and I'm timing myself. You over here talking about, are we here to look at stuff? Except for when we go past the peacocks, because I don't get to see them as often as you used to.
Now, maybe us having this conversation, you can understand why I may be that way. Because it plays with my anxiety.
I would never understand why you would be that way in my car, knowing that I have no AC where we live, and it matters to me.
Not to me.
Okay, well, we obviously don't have the same body heat, because I don't like to sweat. You would rather sweat than be home with each other.
Exactly. It's a level of priority.
I get it.
It's a level of priority.
Right. I'd rather
peace over heat. I can deal with it. I can deal with it.
Y'all don't seem to understand, and then you wonder why I always end up sleeping somewhere in my car in the driveway, because I have a limited time of awakeness. Okay, I already got up early, did everything I needed to do for the day, picked you up, which is an extra time, then went to work, did my 8 hours, and now I'm dropping you back, and I only have a certain amount of time to get to my house before I go night-night.
To bring everything
into a time limit on what time I'm finna be awake.
To bring everything into a frame of reference, for those who don't know, Tina and I currently work together. And there are times where Tina would give me rides to work.
Right.
So that is where a lot of this current talk is stemming from. But I feel as if I understand your point of view more, because we've, I won't say argued, we have passionately debated this tons of times.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I have more understanding as to why you do it, seeing how you operate and what triggers your anxiety. And I'm hoping now you can see why I'm usually clenching the door or the seat belt or anything in that car, especially during those times. It is because it is triggering my anxiety.
Your anxiety. Well, I don't think I'll ever understand those because you were the first person to have a license in the group. No matter.
Look.
And you. It's not my fault.
Evolved.
You sold out.
I've evolved. Either that or the tickets and all the jail time. I can't handle.
You let the man.
Yes, I absolutely did. I can't handle it. I couldn't afford it. I've slowed down tremendously.
So have I.
Everything has turned into peace. I just want peace. I want peace.
I like peace and fluidity, which is why I change lanes the way that I do.
Anytime.
It is fluid. I feel like if I were watching me from like the back,
you'd be watching Fast and the Furious.
Pause. If I was watching me in traffic, thanks, I would be like, yo, that was a fluid lane change. It was just swoop, 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 and going about my business. That's how I feel as I do it.
Do that.
You do.
Sometimes.
I followed behind you. So don't pretend like it's, but I understand from a person from sitting in the passenger seat and sitting in the driver's seat.
It's a completely
different thing. Because I know when our other friend drives, I've had to clench everything. I've had to clench everything because I'm like, wait, is this Fast and Furious or is this like the roller derby? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm still on the clenching. Sorry.
I have clenched everything.
I've been there. I've been there.
I have clenched everything. And then there's been other times with my own sister where I have called on the Lord to protect the other people on the road. Because I'd be like, hey, yo, okay, somebody gave you a Jeep with 4-wheel drive and gave you a Tahoe, and you out here, if you can't see them,
Peace be with you.
Oh, geez. Just the other day. Just the other day. I swore we took off. We was about to take out like one of those drums. Not even the cones, you know, the big. Ooh, we was close. We was close.
I will never forget the nights.
My mama.
And yes, when she hears this, she knows exactly who I'm talking about, and she will call me after she hears this. A night of racing. And again, I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm all for it because I know she good. I'm just like, all right, these dudes don't know who they got. These females about to show them something different. And it was go time. And we all took off. I'm in a passenger seat, and the lane is closing.
You still to this day clinch.
The lane.
Anytime there's a merger, you clinch.
It wasn't as a regular lane merger though. Like they are working on the road, and the cones are just
getting too close.
And that one cone clipped the passenger mirror. My whole life flashed before my eyes. I was over a cone. I'm just like, we're not going to make it because it's like playing chicken. They weren't going nowhere. Their lane wasn't ending. Our lane was ended. And it's just like, you either going to get in front of him and get in the lane before we run off the road, or you going to stop and just give it up and let them win. You did your best.
Ain't no stopping.
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't. Till this day, she says, I didn't clip the cone. You weren't on the passenger side, miss. I was. I saw it. I heard it. I almost felt it if I had kept my hand out the window. But no, she clipped the cone. Moral of the story is, she is just that good. She won the race, and she got in front of them.
You know, but
Lord,
I love how you brought up the fact that you was always down for the racing, because I remember there was a time where it was you and the Cavi, and her and me in the passenger seat of her car. Not just me.
I don't really consider that racing.
Oh, girl, you kept up. You kept up. You kept up.
Because the Cavi had some get up and go. But I never put that amount of work into the vehicle, at least into mine, the way she did to actually soup it up for racing.
Yeah, because she disrespected. She disrespected that car, because I was like, all the weight she was carrying in her car, and then all the weight you was carrying in your, because we was rolling deep that day, and this dude just got off of work and blew his engine trying to keep up. Blew the whole thing. We felt so bad we drove back.
That was all.
You all right, bro? You need a ride home?
Nah, his car was done for. She killed his car.
Like,
he had to get it towed.
We out here just shaking our heads like, you all right, bro? You need a ride home? You good? Done.
He took it on the chin, though.
He had to. He had nowhere else to take it but the junkyard. Because he was, like, we all heard it when it said, pop, pop, pop. Ooh, he's like, ooh.
And the winner is
the Cavalier.
And what was that she had at that time? It was an Eclipse, I think.
I think it was the Eclipse. Eclipse and Cavalier.
Call us, because we know you're listening to this show.
And we can drive down memory lane.
But I've definitely evolved quite a bit. Till now, I take it as a compliment when people are riding with me. I had one person ride with me, and she was just irritated. She was like, you drive so slow.
That was me.
Nah, somebody else.
Oh, okay.
She didn't even know how I used to drive.
I know. That's why I get irritated. I was like, who is this woman behind this wheel? We're sweating.
I said, look, you don't understand how much of a compliment that is. I appreciate that.
I still remember the first person who taught me to drive, and he's like, speed up. I was like, no, the speed limit. Do I have to remind you? Speed up or pull over. I said, Well, shoot, we ain't pulling over. You said speed up. Here we go. Zzz, I'm out.
But yeah, I think we went way around the corner off of that topic. But
yeah, we do get anxious. Like I get anxious when you're driving slow. Like that makes me scared because of my experiences. Of, I can't drive with my mother. It bothers my nerves because I remember who she used to be, and sometimes it hits you that they're getting old and they can't do the things that they used to do because, you know, that running late runs in our family. It's in the blood. So she drove accordingly. You know?
Gotcha.
Right? And then now she's like, it takes her 20 minutes to switch a lane, and I get nervous when she says, "Okay, I'm on my way home."
Hold on.
So, yeah, I get anxious with my mom driving by herself now. The switching lanes things bothers me. You know, when she told me, "Oh, she can't see at night," I was like, if it's 5:30, I'm already saying, "You want me to drive you home? I'll take an Uber home. I'll drive you home." But she doesn't want me to drive. I don't know why, since I can see better than you, with or without glasses. And then it bothers me sometimes. It's like, what if I can't see at night? Like, I'm getting there.
I've been there.
Sometimes I wonder how you got a license.
That's not even funny. I feel some kind of way.
Tell them what you told me about your eyesight without the glasses. Tell them what you told me.
What did I tell you? I'm not too sure.
I'm legally blind.
That is not what I told you. You mean my testimony is what you want to hear.
Oh, okay. Testify.
Another show.
All right. Random testifying. Testification. Testimonies. Random testimonies.
Don't get spontaneous, okay?
I can say spontaneous.
Is spontaneity?
Spontaneity.
Oh, so what was the issue?
Say specificity.
Thank you for joining us this week.
With, like my girl says, specificity.
As you can hear, this show was purely a stress reliever. I don't know if it has been for you or for you.
Right.
But for me, it has been. It's been a tough week, and sometimes you just need outlets are important. If we don't say anything else important, have it. Make sure you
we
have
don't say anything else useful.
Useful.
Remove that one from your book.
The moral of this episode is have an outlet.
A positive outlet. Sleeping can be positive, but then it can also be a sign of depression, but we don't want to go there.
I was about to say any outlet works, but you know what? No, it doesn't. A positive outlet for yourself that does not put anyone else at harm.
That's better.
And utilize it. Even if you have to plan a time away for yourself, 5 minutes, an hour a day, once a week, it is needed. Recoup, relax, rejuvenate, and get back to this drawing board of life. Don't multitask your way
to an early grave.
There you go.
So with that being said,
raise your glasses.
Either the ones on your face or in your hand. And
like
stay blessed.
Jab, because I cannot raise the one on my face. I won't be able to see.
We both wear glasses.
You can clearly take yours off when you feel like it.
I'm supposed to take mine off.
It's too late for me now.
Stay blessed. Stay safe.
Are we really ending it like that? One more time.
Is this really the end?
Yes.
How would you
it
like
is,
to
but-
end it, Marie?
No, yeah, that was an ending. Oh, well,
You said raise
Hold
your
on.
glasses.
raise your glasses. Before we cheers and end this episode, don't forget we are still fairly new on Facebook, trying to incorporate that page into everything that we do. You can find us on Facebook at...
The D pod.
Do you even work at the Dialogue Podcast? I mean, yes.
Here we
yes,
go.
yes.
This is
the
the time.
D-Pod.
Insert Windows shutdown. I work here. I work here. Yes, we are both involved on our social media accounts in a form.
Very much so. The D-Pod is for the Facebook. You can find us on the Instagram at The Dialogue Podcast, and also the YouTube. Just search
The Dialogue Podcast.
There you go.
Yay me.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
We are streaming on all major platforms. We hope you kind of got a chuckle in today, or just a brief breath of fresh air
Right.
that we were able to offer.
And I just kind of want to interject here. Shout out to the notable ones.
Absolutely.
That podcast I've been listening to, it's really wholesome and entertaining.
I enjoy it.
I enjoy it.
I enjoy the variety on that show.
I enjoy the host energy. The premise is that this host interviews people that she feels are a notable person or a personality. They contribute
In society.
In the Black community, in any community, they are just notable people that you should look for. And she interviews them with such enthusiasm that I really do enjoy. I enjoy her interviews. So if you guys have a chance, take a listen to the notable ones.
The notable ones.
So
Like we
That-
would say,
that's our show for today.
and
Thank you for bearing with us.
through this stressful time of life. I don't know.
Through this release that we appreciate the listen, because this was a release for us. We experience stress as we are sure that you do.
As you can probably hear, this show wasn't as planned. We just got together and had an honest conversation, as we always do.
Honest and silly and very
Humorous.
so off topic.
But it
We
still
were-
touches on those major points, and we definitely want you to take care of your mental health as well as your physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Take those breaks where needed. Plan them if you need to.
Reach out to people if you need to. They are professionals that can help you. You do not have to always handle these situations alone.
Absolutely.
There are always better ways of coping and people who can show you how, besides your best friends.
And remember, there's nothing wrong with learning something new. Sometimes we go through life doing the same things, wondering why we're getting the same results. It might be time to learn a new coping mechanism. As we change and evolve, as we get older and go through different things through life, different traumas, different situations, it is time to learn something new, to learn how to handle them. And that's where the professionals come in. Shout out to all therapists, counselors,
Mental health professionals.
essential workers. You are appreciated.
I'm sure you're very essential right about now. Shout out to all the essential workers, period.
Out here still being essential.
All the internet providers, I'm a little trying to understand why y'all outside. But okay.
Hey, people need to work.
Yeah. Every 5G tower that has to go up.
Oh. On the next show.
I'm just saying, it's supposed to be essential. We got the internet. Why are you... Do we need the upgrade like right now?
You want to hit that conspiracy theory subject
No,
yet?
it's not about a conspiracy
Oh,
theory.
it dives deep though. It goes deep.
Pause.
That's why we. That's why we're here.
Pause. No deep diving in here. Not tonight.
Trying to get back on top. We are trying to end this show. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
we
are.
appreciate you listening in to us, and I personally appreciate you, Tina, for being around and being available, especially in times where I needed an outlet. And
You're
for
so
all those,
welcome, 'cause you have kept me sane, and that's saying a lot. Because I am
been on the cliff some days.
Girl,
We have all been on the edge.
I've been holding on by a pinky finger.
But
So, with that, we are going to end the show today. We're going to end the show here.
and say,
Stay blessed, stay safe,
take a break,
and have some dialogue.
please.